Welcome to our channel. On this episode, we focused on the digital asset known as XRP. We gather videos and information from the web, and if you stick around, we are going to share it with you. So stay tuned for news and updates.
Owned by Ripple. XRP is not Ripple. Ripple is not XRP. If you own a unit of XRP, it gives you no right, title, or interest to Ripple. If you want to own Ripple, go into the secondary market and you can buy some shares in Ripple and become an investor in Ripple. But what XRP does, and this is really what I think is fascinating, is when you combine XRP with RippleNet, the proprietary software solution, I think it does something really magical. It's really the secret sauce. It's liquidity on demand.
So let's get some more information on this.
Okay. I used to work for Swift. I was Swift for 20 years, so Swift is flowing through my veins. Swift is the preeminent messaging system for the financial industry, which covers, say, payments, FX, trade, in terms of securities, etc., Nostra reconciliations, etc. What we're looking with the crypto, though, is where Swift would have a store and forward system for most of its payment transactions, where you need service level agreements that in a certain time I will do something, the payment turns up at a certain time during the day. Here we're looking at the new network styles, which allow instant, real-time movement to the funds and visibility of those funds as well. So we would not have a situation where banks need to come back to you and say, have my funds arrived? It's 3 days later. I need to find out or find query messages moving around the network. There's nothing like that. I don't believe Ripple is going to replace Swift. Ripple is one of the complementary networks which is going to allow those institutions who need real time to make use of that. And I think we're also seeing that Swift are changing their network capability so that real time will be a possibility as well. But we may also see Ripple XRP moving across the Swift network as a currency when we're perhaps using something like FX.
In mobile money, when we're using Venmo or Zelle or something, which is a fancy Ferrari body on a jalopy engine, these online wallets, none of this stuff is connected. But blockchain doesn't solve this problem on its own because you're not connecting all these other networks that people use to manage their money or to move their money. But this inner networking of payments with banks and blockchain and mobile money and all online wallets can work when it's all stitched together. What's the way to stitch it together? The interledger protocol. So another thing that we use is an open source protocol called the interledger protocol, and it connects all these different ledgers. It's an important part. So the ILP is an open protocol. There's lots of individuals, a community group working on this interledger protocol to build this global network. There are over 275 contributors to it, from banks, central banks such as the Bank of England working on this, Saudi Bank working on this, payment companies, big tech companies working on this such as Google, consulting companies, blockchain companies, and Ripple's right in the thick of using this interledger protocol with our software and using XRP to move money across borders, move value across borders. If you think about what happened in the world of the internet, when the internet was developed, there were all of these different technologies, HTTP, TCP, IP networks, Wi-Fi, but the way to connect this all together, so importantly, was IP, right? And so when we look at value, we look at the interledger protocol as a way to connect all these different networks from the application level through the transport level, and then all the way down to the banks and the blockchains and the mobile money, to stitch this all together and move this through an open source protocol around the world, and ILP does that. So for us, this is all about creating an internet of value. We had an internet of data. It has changed the world, but it is missing that crucial component of moving value. So with the interledger protocol and with Ripple software and using XRP, we've created an internet of value that we've got already 100 customers rolled out in this. We're adding more customers every week, and we think this is really going to create this internet of value that's really going to change the world and finally give us globalization in every way with our stuff, with our data, and yes, with our money.
Talked a bit about what are the potential outcomes for Ripple, and is it will that be the new Swift, or will some bank come along and try to
two most likely scenarios. Either way, good for equity holders. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not excited about Chase buying it for $300 billion or whatever the number is, but it'd be a good return for anybody that's holding. I would prefer if it does become a dominant platform.
This is not financial advice, and by any means you should not take any advice from us. We have no financial background. This channel is strictly fun base. So stay along for the ride, and if you like what you see, be free to like and subscribe.